Okay, so here's the debate now in D.C. Should we all have seen the border collapse coming? You know, President Biden, when he was a candidate in 2019 and 2020, he campaigned on rolling back Trump's border policies. You're going to hear that and a former Texas congressman saying what Biden is doing now with the border, it's bad. Watch this.
Should someone who is here without documents, and that is his only offense, should that person be deported?
That person should not be the focus of deportation.
I would, in fact, make sure that we immediately surge to the border. All those people are seeking asylum.
I could make an argument that President Biden's policies are more inhumane than Donald Trump's, and Donald Trump's was terrible. It was the worst of any president before him, because you're going to be having thousands of people sleeping on the streets of El Paso, and starting this week is probably going to be below 20 degrees. That's an inhumane policy, and they need to do more.
Let's bring in Congressman Pat Fallon from House Oversight. Congressman, it's good to see you. So this is inhumane, releasing folks into the street with nowhere to go when we have Arctic chill blasts coming in. Where is the outrage from the media and the left over this?
Well, Liz, they've been MIA. They've been MIA for the last 2 years. This has been started out as a crisis, then a catastrophe, and as you just said, it's like a collapse now. We've seen 5 million illegal crossers under Joe Biden's administration. 200,000 people have crossed the border 8 months in a row, at least 200,000, at least 150,000 for 20 months in a row. And 160 countries have been represented by people coming across the border. An open border is an immoral border. And Joe Biden, the entire blame lays at his feet. It's a creation of his own making. And Jean-Pierre, the paid liar, can say anything she wants, but it's not Congress's fault, and it's not Donald Trump's fault.
Congressman, and the issue, too, is that the people who deserve asylum, you know, maybe the elderly, it's the women and children, they're shoved to the back of the line as criminal illegal immigrants, MS-13, terrorists try to cross, right? So they get pushed. That's not humanitarian. And this growing humanitarian crisis, Reuters reporting U.S. companies exploiting and using illegal immigrant children to work in factories. You see that, they're saying, throughout the Hyundai and Kia supply chain in Alabama. But, Congressman, remember in September, House Speaker Pelosi said, you know what, we need illegal immigrants, she said in an elitist way, to, quote, pick the crops in Florida. Watch this.
We have a shortage of workers in our country, and you see even in Florida, some of the farmers and the growers saying, why are you shipping these immigrants up north? We need them to pick the crops down here.
You know, we've talked to immigrants. They were offended by that. What do you say, Congressman?
No, I think that what we're seeing with some of the child labor that's come to light, it's an unfortunate but predictable consequence of a wide open border. And you know what Nancy Pelosi and the Democrats never talk about, Liz, is the 3.8 million people that are waiting to come to this country legally and respecting the laws and the rules of the country that they want to become a part of. And when mass unlawful migration is allowed, it is absolute chaos. That's why we see a great awakening with the Republican Party along the border with Mexico. The Hispanic communities down there are voting overwhelmingly for Republicans now. And we've never seen that in our history.
We have a Harvard-Harris poll, Congressman. Voters are now waking up saying this is really bad. 67% say they want to tighten border laws. What are you guys going to do in the incoming House?
Well, we're going to pass. So the Texas Republicans got together, and we have the Texas border solution. We have 40 pieces of legislation that are good pieces of legislation. I was a contributor to this that actually provide solutions. For instance, eliminating the green card lottery. That's ridiculous and stupid. We need to know the people that are coming in to the country. Punishing people that overstay their visas. We need to, number one thing is we need to re-implement wait in Mexico policy.
Got it.
That actually worked.
Congressman Fallon, we'll have you back on again soon. Thanks for joining us tonight. Merry Christmas.